Thank you very much, Chris. Australia versus Spain in the bronze medal match. The game will still mean a great deal to both these teams, especially Spain. They had a really good run in this tournament, and they will feel that they can go home with a medal around their necks. Plenty of support for Australia, as there has been throughout the tournament. So too, though, for Spain. As we heard, it is a very warm day here again in London at the Lee Valley Hockey and Tennis Centre. Australia just the 5 goals in the tournament. Spain, however, the second highest scoring team in the competition. So that will make it interesting today. So the players make their way out to hear the national anthem for the last time here at this World Cup. Good crowd again. Many here to obviously see the gold medal match coming up after this one. But they will cheer these teams on as well. As we pause now for the national anthem of Australia. Advance Australia Fair. Well, a real cheer at the end of that national anthem as we now turn our attention to the national anthem of Spain, Marcha Real. And again, a good round of applause for the Spanish team. This will be their second bronze medal World Cup playoff game. Australia's 4th appearance in a bronze medal game as we turn our attention to the team lineups. Rachel Lynch, she was the hero in the match against the Netherlands, and she will start under the bar again. Jodie Kenny, Maddie Fitzpatrick, Edwina Bone, Caitlin Nobbs and Georgina Morgan make up a very strong defensive lineup for Australia. Brooke Peris and Stephanie Kershaw have had a really good tournament in the midfield for the Hockeyroos. But it's up front where they've got to try and find some goals today. Rosie Malone, Catherine Slatterly and Emily Smith trying to find the back of the net today. New face on the bench for Australia, number 9, Lily Brazel. She comes in for the injured Renee Taylor, who we believe the X-ray has said she broke her wrist in the game yesterday, and we wish her a very speedy recovery. Under the bar for Spain is Maria Ruiz, and she too has had a good tournament for Spain. Riera, Thinet and Gutierrez, along with Pons, will start in the back line for Spain. And in the midfield, Guinea Perez and Gigi Oliver, who's had a fantastic tournament, leading from the front, the captain of Spain. And then up front, they've been lively throughout. Magaz, Bonastra and Salvatella have all managed to get goals. Can they get them today? That is the question. Maria Ruiz makes her way down to her goal. The helmet goes in. Georgina Morgan, well, you just wonder whether she'll be taking more of the penalty corners, because obviously Jodie Kenny was taken out in the shootout against Argentina, and her shoulder is still not 100% right. The pass back from the centre spot, and Spain get us underway in this bronze medal match between Australia and Spain. Immediately, Spain on the attack, and Australia have to quickly get it clear. Still alive around the circle. Spain, their coach said he wanted them to start quickly this time. Caitlin Nobbs cleans up at the back. And they've certainly gone at it from the opening seconds of this match. A lovely steal. Wonderful steal coming from Berta Bonastra. It's really shown her intent. I'm Ashley Morrison, alongside me, former England and Great Britain player, Mel Clulo. Mel, what a start to this match.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you want to see in a bronze medal game, and a lot of the talk beforehand was obviously about which team's going to bounce back from the disappointment of yesterday. And I think the key thing for me was Adrian Locke when he spoke to Christo before the game about how he just wants his players to come out and play their best, and if that means they walk off the pitch in 4th place, that's okay. I think they were all disappointed perhaps that they didn't quite hit the heights that they wanted to yesterday.
Absolutely, and it's created another debate, hasn't it? The game's both going to shootouts yesterday. People are going, should we go back to extra time? Well, that's a debate for another day, because this is the bronze medal match. Cracked towards the deep by Finna. And she just caught Steph Kershaw. It was accidental. Aerial pass thrown across the pitch and stolen back by Guinea. Keeps it in play. Oliver flicks it out onto the flank. It's been all Spain to start this match. Really good start by them. Alicia Magaz lost possession, brought down, but it's going to be a free hit to Spain.
Yeah, I think the pass from Kershaw was dangerous and not quite collected, so back to the first defence.
Well, there were plenty of sticks in there, but it is Magaz who is the player penalised. Umpires for this match, Amber Church from New Zealand and Annalise Rostrand from South Africa. I just wonder how much Australia have had to sort of rejig things. I was talking to their coach, Paul Godoyne, about the fact that Lily Brazel has had to come in for the injured Renee Taylor, and he said, look, we've had them training with us, which has been good, so it's not too disruptive.
I think the fact that it is one player as well, it's not as though they've had to change 2 or 3 to disrupt anything too much. She'll know the strategies and the corner routines if she's involved in those as well, and you know, what a fantastic opportunity to give another player World Cup experience. Not the circumstances, obviously, but...
Intercepted by Kenny. Of course, Australia also lost Kalindi Comerford, and so Savannah Fitzpatrick, they're the only team to have used both their replacement players in the tournament. There is Paul Godoy barking instructions. Lily Brazel is actually only the second player from Footscray Hockey Club to ever play for Australia. The first was Bob Acton for the Kookaburras in the 1950s. So I'm sure they'll be very proud watching on back in Melbourne. Brazel getting the touch there, going back to Kenny. Nobbs. Well, she's appealing for a free hit, doesn't go Australia's way. Perez plays on. Perez continues into the deep. And a free hit just outside. Spain would really love an early goal if they could get one. It would just settle any nerves that they might have.
And that was our comment yesterday, wasn't it? They put the Irish under immense pressure in that second half when we're able to capitalise and get the equaliser. But, you know, I think it's Spain of old would sit back, they'd do a half-court press and they'd try and hit on the counter-attack. And, you know, to see them in a World Cup semi-final and now obviously a bronze medal match, seeing the brand of hockey and style that they're trying to play, it's exciting. And hopefully Adrian Locke and the coaching staff can keep as much of this team together as possible, moving towards obviously Tokyo and beyond.
Well, it's funny because exactly what you say there, Mel. Adrian Locke said to me before, he said our decisions inside the deep were not good yesterday. Although we dominated that second half, we made some bad decisions inside the circle.
And that's when it counts, isn't it? In pool stages, you can, not to say you can get away with it, but suddenly the pressure builds as you hit quarterfinals, semi-finals, and these players will have learned a huge amount about themselves, and obviously he will have learned a lot about the group as well. So for me, for them to keep pushing on, there's only going to be some tweaks and some fine-tuning. He's got the basis and the core of a great group of players.
Edwina Bone drills that one towards the D, and it's allowed to run into Ruiz's goal because no one was there for Australia. Australia managed to withstand what Spain had to throw at them in that opening 5 minutes. Spain look as if they're keen to go forward again, and Brazil not able to keep the ball in play. First time these two teams met was in the International Federation of Women's Hockey Associations tournament in Edinburgh back in 1975, and Australia won that game 6-2. I don't know if we're going to get that many goals in this game today. Into the D goes Spain again, trying to shoot. She never really got around on that, Lucia Jimenez.
And again, it's turnover ball in and around.
Well, into the circle it goes. Good save from Lynch. Jimenez was there again. And Lynch again thwarts another opposition.
Spain won that initial opportunity from picking the ball high up on the Australian 25-yard line.
Hertz unable to bring that down. Gutierrez cleans up. Oliva in the heart of the defence at the moment. Brought down well by McMahon. Bates working hard. She's been very cool in the shootout, scored all of her attempts. It's stolen back by Spain. Breaking forward now is Riera. And that was a strong challenge. In fact, I think it was Guinea, not Riera. Yes, it was Guinea. It's been given to Slattery now. She can keep it in play. Slattery just lifting the ball. Great defensive skills coming from Gutierrez. Bonastra helps it down the line. That was a good pass to release Meraz. Spain are looking to move the ball at pace.
Yeah, they've certainly got into the game and got their rhythm and flow far better and quicker than the Australian team at the moment. But we know with the Aussies, they've got a fantastic group of players as well, with some world-class players in there. So they'll get themselves into this game quickly, I'm sure.
Savannah Fitzpatrick plays it out wide to Hertz. Good early ball from her. Grace Stewart fires it in. And it goes over the baseline off Jimenez's stick. It'll be a long corner to Australia. Kenny immediately receiving the ball, plays it in. Good deflection out wide. Savannah Fitzpatrick turns and then on the reverse just lifts it dangerously into the circle. So it'll be a free hit to Spain.
Not sure how much time Grace Stewart realised she had in that bottom corner. The Gutierrez and Jimenez dropped off, so she had an opportunity to get her head up. It just didn't quite happen, as we see the replay of the dangerous cross from Fitzpatrick.
Good pressure applied to Gutierrez. Nice deflection forward. Picked up now and surging forward was Maddie Fitzpatrick. Salvatella plays it forward again. McMahon Steals it back for Australia. Doesn't go over the side. Bonastra was determined to keep that in play and keep possession for Spain. Plays it forward and it'll go off Eddie Bone's stick. It'll be a long corner to Spain. You talk about the experience, Mel. I was looking today, I was surprised how many players from Spain have been around the international circuit for a while. They've only got 4 players in their 18 to date who've played less than 100 caps. Australia have 11 players who've got less than 100 caps. That's a big difference in terms of experience.
It is a big difference, and I think it's also to do with the amount of talent available to each coach within their respective nations.
Well, Fitzpatrick, a little bit of space, look for Slattery, found her. Good defending again from Spain. Slattery just hits the turf and carried out of defence by Lopez, but she's given it back to McMahon. Again, Bonastra determined, steals it back for Spain, but McMahon comes back and said, that was my ball, but Bonastra says, well, you're not having it. Intercept again by Maddie Fitzpatrick. McMahon has given it away. Now there's a chance for Majaz. Releases it, Bonastra advances to the edge of the D, goes on the reverse, looks for a foot. First penalty corner of the match.
What a fantastic piece of skill that is from Bonastra. Looks as though she's coming in to take the hit, and then under the arm onto Carrie McMahon's feet as she's trying to get back into that cover position. You've got to say, Spain are looking sprightly. Australia look perhaps at the moment, for me, slightly heavy-legged. Got to get themselves into it, but it's one thing winning these corners and winning and getting the ball into the circle. Hopefully, from a Spanish perspective, they've figured out how to get the ball past Rachel Lynch, because she was outstanding yesterday.
She was indeed, as we just saw there. 3 from 23, a conversion rate of 13% for Spain. Tournament conversion rate is 17% coming into the matches today. Good trap at the top of the circle. Deflected, it's gone in! And there was just a touch in front of Rachel Lynch. I think it may have come off Jodie Kenny's stick, but a player that was closest to me looked like Chantal Thinner.
Well, that's the curse of a commentator, isn't it? Slapped off the top here. I think it's McGath that gets a touch, actually. McGath just, I think, jumps in front. It's not the cleanest of strikes. And I think it's there, number 25. Alicia McGath, I think, has got the all-important touch and just knocked it past Rachel Lynch.
She did indeed. So the perfect start for Spain. So Majaz is the player we believe scored, although I think it's been credited to someone else. We'll have to check on that one. There was a lot of confusion, a lot of bodies inside there, but Australia now find themselves trailing by 1-0.
All we do know is there was a deflection in there. It's whether it's Jodie Kenny's stick or whether it's Alicia McGath. And different camera angles told me different things.
Well, I'm not sure that Adrian Locke will be that bothered. And Spain getting reward. He wanted them to get a better start in this match, and they certainly have. He really came out from the very first whistle, and determination from Pachame, but stolen back by Rosie Malone. Again, she's been determined throughout this tournament, putting a lot of legwork. And is certainly a player to look out for in the future. Just 20 years of age. Stewart gets a free hit for Australia. Played on quickly by Kershaw. Slips it back to Chrissy Bates. Peris goes back to Bates. Peris breaks forward and just play that into the turf, so it then popped up. Eddie obviously a really difficult thing to pick teams up for the bronze medal matches when you've had the devastation of losing in a shootout, as Perez breaks forward. And certainly look at both teams, they were shattered yesterday and losing those games, as Bates now tries to find a way around the back, but Banastra is determined not to let her in. She'll just belt that up the pitch away from danger.
I think in this situation, you obviously got the Spanish team that, as much as you come here and say you want to make the World Cup semi-finals and obviously then a playoff game, there isn't that expectation. I think with the Australians, it probably hurt is not necessarily the word, but I think for them, they would want to be in that final. That almost their expectation is, because of their history, that's their focus, that's their goal. Semi-finals minimum, to run the Dutch so close, to then lose.
Majaz tries to play it in the D. Malone comes back, stolen inside the D by Perez. Perez advantage, lays it across. It's a second goal for Spain, and Banastra gets her just rewards in front of goal. She gets one for Spain, and it is now 2-0.
Wow. Definitely won't be too many people expecting this to be happening at the moment, but this is just what the World Cup's been about from day one. Strong by Perez there, and Banastra nice and low. Simple sweep at goal. Nutmegs Lynch, who's unsighted probably by Kenny and Morgan. What a fantastic start for Spain.
Well, it was great work by Perez, and you can see how happy Adrian Locke was on the side. Well, Spain move out to a 2-goal lead in this first quarter. 2 goals within 2 minutes. And that was certainly just rewards for Banastra, who's had a lightning first quarter.
She's been busy all tournament as well, hasn't she? But I think, you know, the scoreline is what Spain deserve at the moment. They've attacked this game, they've come out positively, pressed the Australian back line, and then not giving players space or opportunities as they sort of get closer to their own goal.
Absolutely. Now the big question is, how will Australia respond? Eddie Bone carries forward. Good tackle comes in. Unfortunately, ricocheted off the stick of Julia Pons onto her teammate's foot. It's a free hit for Australia. Back to McMahon. Now Kenny. Banastra involved again as Kenny slapped that forward. That's the hooter for the end of the first 15 minutes. And there is Berta Banastra with the pink scrunchie. And there's the person credited with the goal, the first one, Maria Lopez, player who always likes to come on the pitch with her right foot first. Well, she's put her right foot forward in this match, there's no doubt about that. Score at the end of the first break, Australia 0, Spain 2. What a wonderful crowd we've got in here. We've had superb crowds all tournament. And it's great to see it packed house here. This is the opening goal. Lopez at the top of the D. Did it come off Kenny, or was there a touch?
Yep. On that one, definitely Jodie Kenny.
So Lopez getting the opening goal, and this was great work. Perez got the ball inside the circle. She won possession, looked up, saw Banastra, who took it first time and through the legs of Lynch, and that made it 2-0 to Spain. We're going to go pitch side now to Krista Cullen, who has the coach of Spain, Adrian Locke.
So, Adrian, a fantastic start. You said that's where your focus was, and that's what the girls delivered.
Yeah, exactly. We know we haven't started one of the last couple of games, and you can see that we've made a difference. So that's a good start. I'm happy with that.
And is it about intent now, making sure when you do get up there, because there's not going to be many chances with the Aussies?
We're just going to keep the same. We've got a good intensity, we've got a good pressure on the ball, so Australia are uncomfortable on the ball. We're causing turnovers, so we need to keep doing that. We need to add a little bit of more options in outletting, and just keep our cool, but keep our intensity.
Thanks, Adrian.
Okay, thanks.
Good insight into the thoughts of Adrian Locke. As Spain get things underway again, and they launch a long overhead pass which will go over the baseline. But what a position. They've only ever played in one bronze medal playoff match at a World Cup previously. That was when they lost 5-0 to Argentina in 2006 when they were the host nation. These two teams did have a test series in Australia at the start of the year, so as we heard from Gigi Oliver, she felt that they knew the Australian team quite well. A lot of those games finished in draws and then Australia having a victory.
I think it's also, you know, when you chat to Adrian Locke, whether you're on camera or off camera, he's relaxed as well, and I think that can certainly help spread through your team.
Played on quickly by Australia. Malone dispossessed at the edge of the circle. Determination at the top of the deep to get that in there. Malone has done well. Lays it back again. Brazel was the one winning the ball at the top of the circle. She's scrapping hard for her team there. Wins a free hit. Looks to play on quickly. Just deflected away by Christina Guinea. Slattery now looking to turn. And to drive along that baseline. Slattery again, making an individual run, takes a tumble. Okay, good to see Jimenez getting up because Slattery landed on top of it.
Yeah, purely accidental, obviously, but yeah.
Catherine Slattery, we all know, is such a lively player. She was the MVP in the Grand Final in the Western Australian League last year as Wasps went unbeaten in the season, coached by Kobe McGurk, former hockey-roo. But we just haven't seen enough of her in this tournament, for my mind.
No, I think the Australian forwards in general, you know, Emily Smith as well has been kept quite quiet. I think the players that have impressed me have been the midfielders, as you mentioned at the start. I think Brooke Perris has played well. I think Stephanie Kershaw has played well. But it's the supply line to the likes of Catherine Slattery, and her best work is done in and around the penalty spot, and obviously in close to the goal. And that's where we're not seeing her. We're seeing her picking the ball up wide and out in the channels at the moment.
A pass brought down by Spain. Comes inside to Gigi Oliver. Just going to really test, I think, Spain's fitness this match. It's a very warm day again, and they put a lot of energy into this first half.
It's the last game of the World Cup with a medal at stake. Can have an up tomorrow.
Absolutely. Great pass again, picked up well by Garcia. Calmness by her. Saw nothing was on, so went back to Oliver. Again, good pass now. There's nothing on there, so Spain keeping possession well. Kenny put under pressure, and it's been stolen. Good work again by Guinea. Free hit to Spain, just outside the deep. Can they craft another goal from this position? Just lifting it, good defence from Carrie McMahon, the South Australian. Started her hockey at the Berry Hockey Club. Kershaw goes back to McMahon, and then Kershaw with a really good turn. Creates some space for herself. Ball just got stuck underneath her stick. And in fact, may have clipped her foot as well. Bonastra involved, but a good steal this time by Morgan. Plays it upfield. There's nobody there, though, for Australia. Gutierrez will bring it under control. Square pass from her finds Lopez. She gives it back as Stewart came down to close her down. Perez looking to cut infield from the left-hand side. Good pass from her. Tracking back was Kershaw. Again, good movement by Spain. This time they smash it into the deep, almost getting through. McMahon again to the rescue at the back for Australia. Stewart now, strong in the tackle, gets the free hit.
I don't think Beatriz Perez realises how much of a good opportunity that was with a better first touch. Maybe she does, but cracking ball in. Smashed into her in the middle of the circle, and it was just a poor first touch that enabled the Australian defenders to pick that ball up.
Well, I hate to say it, there were two players there going for the ball. Went the defenders' way. There was a game earlier in the tournament where same situation, and it went the attackers' way with the high ball. So you just don't know, do you?
No, unfortunately not.
I think you know the one I'm thinking of too, Mel.
Thank you.
Anyway, that's history now. Spain again going on the attack, takes a deflection off McMahon's stick. It's gone up in the air.
No, it's a body. Thank you.
Well, why would you not play the advantage?
It's because the ball has popped up off McMahon onto Bonastra's body, so you can't get the advantage off the body. So Annelies Rostron explained that to Spain very well.
Thanks for that, Mel. Certainly it's hard to spot the ball just clipping the body, but the umpire ideally placed. Bonastra again got around the back of McMahon. McMahon recovers well, closes her down. She still pops the ball across the face of goal. Morgan got it to the edge of the circle where Perez is impeded.
Still feels a little bit frantic back there in the Australian circle at the moment. Used to seeing cool heads from Kenny and Morgan, and just getting the ball in the end of the sticks and almost chucking the ball out of the circle rather than trying to pick a pass.
I think there's no doubt that Jodie Kenny's shoulder is a lot worse than the Australian team are letting on, because they're not using her as much, and we were saying she's just not been putting in the tackles as we would expect. And I'm sure that that's kind of ruffled the defence a little bit when you've got to alter your game because of that.
Oh, I have no doubt about that. It's still heavily strapped, isn't it? I'm sure it's... We saw it in the sling for a couple of days.
Again, I was told it's the AC joint is what she actually hurt in that clumsy challenge in the shootout from Belansucci.
Slightly more than clumsy in my opinion, but
I would agree. I was just trying to be polite. Into the D it goes for Australia, but again it's good defence from Spain. And they're not panicking at the back. They're quite calm on the ball.
And that's what I think you get when you play together as a team, as you mentioned about the number of caps and things, is you get that instant understanding of where your teammate's going to be, if they're in a cover position, how they're going to tackle, what their strengths are. And they've really used it to full effect in this tournament.
Brilliant steal from Lily Brazel. Bonastra never even heard it coming. So now Savannah Fitzpatrick just checking where the umpire wants the free hit from. Caitlin Nobbs. And the angle on that pass from Morgan again, just too acute, and it goes out of play. Charged down by Slattery. This time, Spain keep the ball on the deck. Slattery again being a nuisance. She's certainly trying to get in the game and spark something in that forward line, Catherine Slattery. Good deflection and picked up well by Ganea. She just leaves the ball behind, and Pachami, as she can get his long corner for Spain. Gutierrez. Good pressure from Emily Smith. And that pressure paid dividends, but Emily Smith let the ball just go off her stick and out of play. Playing wide is Pons, but not getting the ball at the moment as Spain look to continue to go down the left-hand side. Good ball right into the corner, but Poor trap there from Untitled Chapter.
Just a bit shocked at Carrie McMahon throwing an aerial ball from deep right-hand pocket across the top of the circle. Got away with it. I know. That was my stunned look as I stared at you then, actually.
And I'm glad you're not a school teacher. So another free hit to Australia on halfway. Can they get a goal before the half-time break? 4.5 minutes left in the first half. Spain at the moment just sitting on their 2-goal lead. Ball thrown wide, brought down well by Eddie Bone, drew the foul. Ball boy putting the ball on the line. I should give the ball patrol a little bit of credit. They've been very good in this tournament. They've got the balls in and to play very quickly. It's all a little bit quiet there for the Australian fans at the moment. Australia ranked 5th in the world, Spain ranked 11, and Slattery again trying to make something happen in front of the goal, but good work again by Gutierrez. Nobbs steals possession, determined by Spain. They get the free hit. That was good from Pachame. She was looking to play that into the path of Garcia, but just too far ahead, and now it's Bates looking up as she carries the ball forward. And it goes to Malone. Slattery's ahead of her. Cut out well, though, again by Thinner. There's 2 balls on the pitch at the moment. One's retrieved, so play can go on. Adrian Locke shouting the instructions in Spanish. He is fluent in Spanish and in French, having studied that at the University of Sheffield. Lovely steal again by Spain and through the legs, but a little bit soft, and Nobbs read it really well and took it away from Perez. Now it's Kershaw bursting forward for Australia. Finds Bates on the right-hand side. She in turn finds Slattery. Long corner Australia. I just feel Australia suddenly have just lifted a gear in these last couple of minutes. A good spell of pressure from them. Bone plays it down. Lovely turn from Malone. She advances on goal. Malone across the face of goal. Penalty corner. Came up off the goalkeeper into her own player.
Comes up and pull in here. Your choice. Do you want it?
Just a question over whether there was going to be a referral or not, but beautiful little turn by Malone here. Gets a head up, draws Ruiz. Been given for danger. The sweep out of the circle onto the player, definitely the right decision. Spain were thinking about the referral, but
so Jodie Kenny has made her way forward. Alongside her is Maddie Fitzpatrick. They go to Kenny. Great running by the first runner. Free hit taken quickly by Bates. Numbers were there for Spain, and they'll smash that one forward, and they have. And there's trouble here now for Australia. They're a little bit short at the back. Numbers coming for Spain. Maybe delayed the pass, and eventually Kenny got back really quickly. She mops up at the back. Kershaw had acres of space, but decides to pass to Smith. Oliva gets left behind in Smith's wake. Into the D it goes again. Good defence by Spain. It was Jimenez who intercepted that pass.
You need to get the off safely and off. It's your responsibility for your team.
defending corner kit all over the pitch in the circle, and there's also one of the knee protectors between the top of the circle and the 5-metre mark, and the Church makes the point to the captain, it's your team's responsibility to get it off the pitch.
And now they've thrown it inside the goal. Gigi Oliva just playing it out, found Christina Guinea. Guinea looks up, she wants a run from Bonastra. Bonastra, though, was stationary, and it just went past a stick into a shin pad. With the first mistake Bonastra's made in this half.
Yeah, she's definitely been one of the standouts of this half. But a big final minute for both sides, I think.
It is, as Brooke Perez breaks forward, manages to find Grace Stewart. Stewart's trying to turn, looking to get inside the D, but again, it's a superb tackle by the Spanish defence. And in particular, Gutierrez, who's just been so good at the back for Spain in this game. She takes a tumble, the captain of Spain. Stolen back again by them. Pressure applied by Bone. Gutierrez demanding the ball to come back to her, and off she sets again over the halfway line. And Spain cleverly keeping possession. Eventually stolen by Kershaw. And just using the feet there by Jimenez. She made no attempt to play it with her stick. No doubt one eye on the clock. The hooter goes, and that is the end of the first half. And it's been Spain who have the advantage, having come out and really looked to take the game to Australia. 2 goals in the first quarter have really paid dividends. And that is why at half-time it is Australia 0, Spain 2. absolutely fit as a fiddle. Well, they're waiting for the next game, but they're still enjoying the atmosphere here at the Lee Valley Hockey and Tennis Centre. The second half of the bronze medal match about to get underway. Spain currently leading Australia by 2-0. Dare I mention that Spain has never beaten Australia before in a World Cup match. They played 5 times, 4 wins for Australia and just 1 draw. And that draw came in 1994. Emily Smith over the ball for Australia to get this second half underway. She pushes back. And Australia have half an hour to get back in this game. And this time the decision goes the defenders' way.
Someone needs to sort the aerial ball rule out. We had this discussion yesterday. There's no danger in that. I understand why it's been blown, but I think we need to perhaps address that at some point. But for me, in this game, next goal wins. If it's Spain, I don't see Australia coming back and scoring 4. If it's obviously Australia that score, then we're potentially looking at the curse of a 2-0 scoreline and completely different reflection on the game.
Australia have found goals difficult in this tournament, only managed 5 coming into today. As I mentioned it, Spain have been the second highest scorers in the competition. Netherlands 29, Spain 12, Argentina 11.
But I think you also have to put into context 7 of those were against South Africa, so it came in 1 game. But for me, the Spanish defence has been one of the best in this tournament, so it's going to be, I'm not saying Australia can't do it, but it's going to be an uphill task for them to pull themselves back in.
You can only beat those teams that come in front of you, and you've still got to do the job.
Absolutely, and you know, Argentina then played South Africa, and South Africa got a worthy draw out of it. So, yeah, this, as we have discussed many times, this tournament's had so many twists and turns that rankings mean nothing.
Maddie Fitzpatrick wins a free hit for Australia. And you just feel Australia would like a goal as early as they can in this quarter. Intercepted, but it should break it. In fact, no, the determination. And it's going to be a card, I think, for Edwina Bonin. Yes, she knows it is. But that was sheer determination from Christina Ganea. So Australia down a player for the next 2 minutes as the ball ricochets off the foot of Morgan. Free hit again to the Spanish player. And umpire was saying to the Australians, go back 5. Spain thought she was telling them to take the ball forward 5 metres. Nice trap at the back by Riera, but she recovers. Oliver under pressure from Kershaw. Great skills from her. Just managed to stop in her tracks and turn, and now it's a beautiful ball forward. Chance now for Spain. Into the D they go. Good defence, though, by Australia, and it comes off the foot of Carmen Cano.
Wonderful pass from Oliver there, and a fantastic first touch as well to put the ball into the space.
Well, Gigi Oliver, you look at the pedigree. Her father played for Spain, Jordi, in the 84 and 88 Olympics, and her brother, Roc Oliver, played, of course, 08, 2012 and 2016 Olympic Games. Not bad having 3 members of your family go to an Olympics, not just one. Just flicked over the top calmly by Morgan Fan Kenny. Now he's just had a check back. Now she runs into a little bit of trouble. It's stolen by Salvatella. Spain coming forward. Bonastra just stops things. Goes infield. Oliver again. And just lifted out now onto the right-hand side. Brought down well by Cano. Australia, though, win possession and carry the ball forward. Stewart now. Substitute coming and joining in is Emily Hertz. Hertz, good driving run from her, deflected over the baseline again. Brilliant defence from Gutierrez.
There's a double team on Hertz there. And that's where, again, where Spain's defence is so good. 2 people to the ball carrier most of the time, so if an Australian player beats them, the spare player is able to pick the pieces up.
Kershaw plays it out wide. Bates looking up. Australia are back to their full quota of 11. So Spain weren't able to capitalise on that advantage. Morgan cuts infield, and that will be intercepted by Oliva, but he just ricocheted away, and McMahon carries it forward. Another good steal by Spain. And to carry it forward, but just checking back is Alicia Majaz. Free hit goes Australia's way. Really need a goal. Kershaw, chance to run, but closed down, forced to go into her backhand, and they just managed to steal possession. Bonastra again looking up for options. Run down the side came a little bit late for her. Ganea under pressure. Ganea dispossessed by Hertz, fighting back to try and get it, and then penalised as Hertz hits the turf.
Got herself into a little bit of trouble there, Ganea.
Kershaw takes a touch, and she just clipped that one into the turf, and it rose up to a height that was deemed dangerous. Those are the really frustrating ones as a coach.
I think sometimes it shows you potentially the mental state of the players out there, that, you know, that should be a simple pass to make. Poor skill execution. Is it fatigue? Is it, you know, what is causing that? And that then is something that can spread through your team.
Paul Godoy there, still shouting the instructions to his team. Looking fairly relaxed, though, on the side. Here comes Spain again. Stopped is Garcia, but it'll be a free hit to Spain. Nobody seems to want to take the free hit. Slowly making her way there is Lola Riera, and she will slap that down the side. Can we get past Stewart? Good run along the baseline. Good defence from Slattery. Two forwards really working hard inside the circle to deny Perez the chance to get the ball in. Stolen back by Spain. And that was into Kershaw's foot. And you have to say Spain are very much in control of this match. As it's drilled in again, deflection was there, and it was a sharp save from Lynch, and a penalty corner conceded.
I think it came, the question's coming whether it came off an Australian stick or a Spanish stick to make it dangerous. No, penalty corner it is going to be. So it's a firm hit in by Riera. Lovely little touch, I think, there by McGath. Just Australia giving Spain too much time to pick the passes at the moment.
The touch from McGath was just what was needed. So penalty corner now for Spain. 6 from 15 in the tournament. They've got one of the best conversion rates in the tournament. Just taken and now laid back to Lopez, who looked to hit it, and straight into the runner. A bit of a mix-up between Riera and Lopez. Spain have won it back now. Bonastra. Morgan did well to get a feed out of the way. One back again by Spain, and weaving their way into the circle they go. McGath it was again. Kershaw now out wide, gets the chance to accelerate and show her pace. Cutting infield, just got clipped on the heels. Well, card, was that deliberate?
Probably not. It's a great Kershaw here. It's not. I mean, I think she may have slightly cut across Jimenez. Nothing that Jimenez can do in that situation, apart from, unfortunately, ankle tap. Kershaw definitely looked worse than it was, but I think the green card probably is right if she's managed to cut her out of the game.
Well, to be fair, Amber Church could see the line the defender was running, so would have had a really good view whether she did run across and just clip the back of her, make it look like a mistake. Well,
but it also looks more spectacular because Stephanie Kershaw was running so quickly down the pitch.
McMahon plays it forward, goes off the stick of Ganea. Played on quickly by Hertz. She's really trying to spark something for Australia. Unfortunate bobbles over the stick of Slattery and out of play. Oliver, what a pass to Ganea. Well read though, and stolen by Caitlin Nobbs. Smith, lovely layoff from her. And then just slipping on the reverse stick. It was unfortunate from Fitzpatrick.
It was, I think it's a great little touch there by Garcia as well, just as Fitzpatrick tries to unleash the reverse stick. And Gigi Oliver's there just to mop the pieces up for Spain.
Almost just over 5.5 minutes left. Hertz again. Ball to Smith, it will go in. Slattery gets the touch. Australia have pulled one back. Won't be the most spectacular goal Catherine Slattery scored, but they're happy. Their team is back in at 2-1.
Spain have gone into a huddle immediately after this. Simple. Well, it's going in anyway, but I think that you can't blame Catherine Slattery for making certain. Emily Hertz has definitely been the brightest spark for Australia in this quarter. Oh, cheeky little steal by Slattery, but as with the Spanish goal, they're not going to. It doesn't matter who scored the goal, and now we've got a game on our hands with the scoreline at 2-1.
Certainly is. And I'm sure as captain, Emily Smith won't mind as long as it did go in. If she'd have deflected it wide, she might not have been quite so happy. So 2-0 is a dangerous scoreline. Because when it gets to 2-1, you can get a little bit jittery now. It'll be interesting to see how Spain react. Adrian Locke is off his seat. He just came out of the dugout just to shout some instructions. Maddie Fitzpatrick carries forward. It goes off Ganea over the sideline. Fitzpatrick plays on quickly. Shadowed all the way by Kano. Goes off her stick and it. I thought it was going to run out of play. Kept in play by Spain. Didn't want to concede the penalty corner and played into the foot of Slattery. That was clever.
Now I'm expecting to see a bit of a spring in the Australian step. Now begin to put the Spanish defence under pressure. Australia have probably found themselves in these types of games far more often than the Spanish team has. So Gigi Oliver on the ball at the moment is still going to be key for Spain. Steady the ship a little bit.
Oliver wanting to get on with play quickly, but Jodie Kenny not allowing her to do so. And I think Annalise Rostrom doing the right thing, just calming things down for a second, because it was getting a little bit frenetic in there. And tempers were getting a little bit frayed. Oliver couldn't keep that one in. So Bates from the side now for Australia. Looks for Slattery. Good touch from her, found Malone. She's gone inside, and Slattery, though, couldn't get on the end. That was actually brilliant defensive play. Just took it away from Slattery. But it's still alive for Australia. She's taken a good lead now. Lets that one run over the baseline. Long corner for Australia.
It was good play, but suddenly you see Malone quickest to the ball, quickest to picking up the pieces, which hasn't happened up until now in this game.
Australia switching play. Morgan comes to Kenny. Just under 3 minutes now left in this third quarter. And Emily Smith just couldn't get that under control. Apologises to her team, raises the arm. Spain need to get out of this area and just ease the pressure for at least a few minutes.
Yeah, and I think it was key, captain, or I'm assuming it was Gutierrez that pulled them in as the captain. Once that goal went in, got the team in, top of the circle while Australia celebrated to try and refocus the team, because Spain have played well in this game. They shouldn't necessarily need to change anything that they've been doing because it's been working. It's about, as Adrian Locke said, keeping cool, keeping the intensity high.
That deflection won by Kershaw, but a brilliant steal in the end. And into the D goes Banastra. Couldn't get on the end of that pass from Pons. Good steal by Pons in midfield. And this is Australia's 4th bronze medal match at a World Cup. They've only ever won one, and that was in 1983. They won 3-1 over West Germany. In 81, they lost 5-1 to Russia. And in 02, they lost 2-0 to China. At the moment, they're still trailing. We've got a minute and a half left in the 3rd quarter, but they're back in the match thanks to that goal. And that's Smith again. Malone buzzing around. She's really busy now. Well, again, another great overhead take. Carried forward now by Salvatella. She's had a quick glance, I think, at the clock, saw the time, is just trying to kill a little bit of time. Managed to find the foot of Eddie Bone.
I like what Rosie Malone tried to do, but there was a simple drop ball to Jodie Kenny that could then have brought the ball out to this right-hand side for Australia.
Kenny at the top of the circle, put under pressure by Banastra, but came out on top. She's thrown that pass to absolutely nobody. And Spain won't mind that at all. Gutierrez collects, goes to Oliver. Lovely first-time pass from her to Ganea. And now they've got space on the right-hand side. If they can keep it in play, they can. Just coming inside Kershaw, then back on the outside. And it's Lynch who had to just make sure.
Definitely a lovely touch by McGath here. Jimenez flat. McGath gets a lovely little touch. Simple for Lynch. Still a shot on target.
McGath has looked really dangerous from those, and you just feel one may go past Lynch at some point. But Lynch has been in great form in the tournament. The hooter's gone. That is the end of the 3rd quarter, so the coaches get their chance to impart some final wisdom in this final game for both these teams at the 2018 Women's Hockey World Cup. Catherine Slattery has given Australia a lifeline. At the final break, it's Australia 1, Spain 2. A lovely view from overhead of Paul Godoin and all the players around him. As we take a look at the goal that has pulled them back into the game. It was good work by Emily Hertz initially. Hertz managed to fan Emily Smith. It was going in, but Slattery goes, I need a goal, and just tapped it over the line.
It's probably the first time as well the Spanish defence has been at 6s and 7s. Hertz was able to pick the ball up 5 metres from the top of the circle, unmarked, and suddenly Emily Smith is unmarked, and Slattery is unmarked. Lovely little skill by Emily Smith. First time to chuck it over the shoulder of Ruiz in goal.
Adrian Locke apparently was giving them quite a roasting in there. So how will the Spanish girls react? A few Dutch fans in here, the Australian fans watching on eagerly. Wonderful crowd at the Lee Valley Hockey and Tennis Centre. Sold out today for the final, and can you believe there were actually ticket touts selling tickets for a hockey match? Is unheard of, but it's great for the sport that people want tickets that badly.
Well, I know those that haven't got tickets are going to be in fan zone later as well, so just an unbelievable atmosphere around the hockey venue at the moment.
So Malone pushes back. The final 15 minutes for both these teams at the World Cup is underway. Can Australia get back on level terms? Can Spain prevent them or even snatch another goal? Morgan goes the aerial route. Bone is in space, but she doesn't bring the ball down. Morgan penalised, and a smile. Garcia doing well. She, to all intents and purposes, shouldn't have won a free hit there, but she did somehow managed to. Goes on the break. It's stolen back by Bone, carried forward by her. Oliver steals it back. I mean, Eddie Bone, it's great to see her back out there because she's been out for almost a year or so. Stress fracture of the knee in September 2017. It was the same injury that Paul Godoyne, their coach, it finished his career. So great to see her back out playing for Australia as Ireland are arriving here at the stadium for their first ever final in a major tournament, certainly in a World Cup. Graham Shaw, I'm sure he doesn't have much to say to them today. They'll be motivated enough. Everybody's favourite, but not the favourites.
Definitely the people's favourites, I think.
Absolutely, and it was great to see 4 full broadsheet pages in the Irish Independent today. Just colour pictures the whole back page dedicated to the Irish women's hockey team. And Adrian Locke is going to be shouting his way to the very end of this match, you can tell. Here comes Spain. He'd love them to get another goal. Are they going to get it here? Pachami gets a penalty corner. Good work by her. And the last penalty corner, they made a bit of hatch of it. Now they've got a chance to get it right.
Yeah, Pachami comes in here, spins a little bit off Fitzpatrick up into the air.
So the Australian players putting on their safety gear. Spanish players in a huddle at the top of the D. The injector makes her way down. That is Garcia. And we have Lopez at the first battery, Riera at the second. They go to Riera. It's a poor trap again. Pachami, though, stays calm, has a strike, took a deflection. And there, are they going to refer it? Well, for us, I think they are. Spain, I think. Yes, they are. I thought that was off an Australian.
They check the whole thing. Go away. So what do you want asking for? You want a penalty corner? No?
Yeah, from the yeah.
Michelle, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Spain are asking for the ball was going towards the goal, so can you check the whole situation, please?
I'll have a look for you.
Thank you.
Michelle Joubert from South Africa is our video umpire.
Emily Smith was asking, it looks as though it may have hit Pachami on the head as she's trapped the ball. So Emily Smith was asking Annalise Rostron on the halfway line to check absolutely everything, and I think as the balls come up off the trap, it's hit Pachami on the side of the head. So that for me should be an Australian hit out. Looks as though the ball changes angle.
Well, okay, they've now got to play on and see the rest of the play.
Yes, it's a deflection at goal. But I think Eddie Bowen, the moment it bounced off the head, she put her hand
I
up.
have a decision for you. It is a free hit out. There was danger towards the defender, and Spain lose their referral.
Wait, you got to wait for the whistle.
Okay, so Spain lose their referral.
If it was a penalty corner, you wouldn't have been able to start that.
I think the right decision has been reached.
But I can't
Yeah.
tell you what
The right decision has been reached, but if it's a shot at goal, it's all about the distance the ball has to travel for it to be dangerous. Personally, feel something was missed on top of the circle, but again, it's easy for me stood up here. I don't have an influence on the game.
No, we had one of those the other day that was, the big question was whether it was going towards goal. In which case, I think on social media, all the umpires were helping out, going that they felt if it was a shot at goal, then it should be not a dangerous shot.
But it was good to see in a way that even within the umpiring community there were differing opinions happening, so lots of things happening off the pitch.
Plenty of discussion. And you just wonder whether Spain are going to regret losing that referral. They weren't all 100% committed to it. Intercepted this time by Perez. Happy to see it go over the side. Still a long time left in this match for Australia to get an equaliser, maybe even sneak a winner. This is really going to test Spain's composure. McMahon, good run from her. Umpire apologising for blowing the whistle just as the ball reached the Australian player. Morgan. It's deflected top of the circle by Gutierrez. It'll be a long corner to Australia, directly opposite where it went out of play. Kershaw over the ball. Goes back to Jodie Kenny. McMahon is wide. McMahon, sieging run, lifted it. And Smith managed to keep it in play, but I think it just touched the front of her uniform. Demastra didn't keep that in play. Amber Church was perfectly placed to see whether that had gone out of play or not. Thrown forward, Smith will try and get there, but it again just kicked off the turf and out of play. Godoy marching on again. Moves in the Hockeyroos Brown as Banastra dispossessed by Morgan. Kenny now closed down. Another free hit goes Australia's way. Just the foul count going up against Spain at the moment as they're just beginning to mistime some of their tackles. Gigi Oliver loses out. Malone. Good pass from her, almost finding Lily Brazel.
I think there's naturally going to be just a lull in Spanish play. The amount of work rate and effort they've put in so far. Obviously, you don't want that to happen in the fourth quarter, but I just think it's inevitable. And as Australia push forward, trying to find this equaliser, it may just leave some spaces open for Spain to exploit.
It's a free hit for Spain. They've got a chance to go on the attack. The ball now with Salvatella. Good little pass infield from her. Into the D, surging back, lays it back. Should be a goal. It is a goal. Fired home, and she deserves it. Alicia McGath has finally got a goal. We said she was going to get one. She looked likely, and she was perfectly placed to make it 3-1 to Spain.
Wonderful build-up play here. Perez again, who's been busy. She set up a couple of goals. Draws the defender. McGath in the right place at the right time to score the third goal for Spain. Has the composure and the experience on a young player's shoulders to take that first touch. Not the cleanest of flicks at goal, but that is irrelevant. It finds the backboard and gives Spain the 3-1 lead.
Well, you mentioned Perez, and she has had an outstanding game. Set up 2 of the goals now. And when you think she used to be doing an individual sport like judo, and then she just preferred doing team sports. Well, there's tears in the crowd there. I'm presuming that's of joy rather than anything else. Spanish do get very emotional when their teams are playing. Great to see. I love a bit of passion.
It just goes to show what the players put their potential parents or family members or the crowd through.
Have Spain now done enough? Is that extra goal just going to be the difference between winning the bronze medal and having to go maybe to a dreaded shootout? Banastra will be penalised. That just went up, caught her body. In fact, no, it's been, as it went up off the stick of the Australian player, it's gone the other way. It is a Spain free hit. Well, this will be a big victory for Spain if they can do it. These two teams have played 55 times. Australia won 42 of those matches. Spain just 5, so it would be a massive, massive win. I believe that the interest in the Spanish team throughout the tournament in the press there has really risen as well. So great for the sport that they've had a good tournament. Here they come again. That's the foot, and it will be another penalty corner to Spain. I said it last time that they might get it right this time. They've got another chance now.
Yeah, they do, and they're definitely the busier of the two. Jimenez here, around the baseline, waits for Caitlin Nobbs to push the stick out to try and make the tackle and just rolls it onto the feet.
Adrian Locke sent the message out, what he wants. Lopez, the message carrier. Making a way to the baseline to inject again is Begonia Garcia. Lopez waits, and alongside her, Riera. Riera at the second battery, Lopez at the first. This time it is stopped low. Riera swept it straight into Maddie Fitzpatrick, who's in a bit of pain.
It's got to be here. It's got to be here.
Always the unsung heroes of corner defence, the Flyers. They really do. If you're getting hit 9 times out of 10, it's because you're running the perfect line, but you're running it to block one side of the goal so your goalkeeper can take the other. Edwina Bone is fantastic at it, and they've clearly uncovered another one that in Maddie Fitzpatrick.
And here comes Spain again. Good little run coming from Jimenez, who as well has been lively. And having a few minutes ago looked like a team that was really rocking and looking tired. Suddenly they've found new life.
Kicking back for Australia. Edwina Bone coming on, is it?
Yeah, I think so. So Edwina Bone has goalkeeping privileges. Rachel Lynch has to make away from the field. So what this means is Australia now have obviously 11 outfield players, but when it's inside the circle, Edwina Bone can use her feet. Pachami plays on for Spain, pursued by Kershaw. Bone pushes it forward. Spain have won it back. Good work by Stewart. She gets the free hit for Australia.
You see that third goal's really knocked the wind out of the Australian sails. They were dominating, really pushing forward, looking for that equaliser. Comment came that perhaps Spain were just running out of a little bit of puff, and then bang, third goal for Spain, and now you can see them with the spring in their step, and the energy levels have risen again.
Indeed. Spain picking up possession and quite calm again under pressure. Guinea forward, good steal from McMahon, just taking it away from the stick of Garcia. Andy Fitzpatrick plays it straight into Pachami. A little bit more than she's letting on. Slattery with a great take, top of the circle, turns inside the deep as she goes to shape. A really important stick jab, just took it away from her. And that may be a crucial moment in this match, because had Australia scored then, it would have been a really big finish to the game. Gigi Oliva put under pressure. And Savannah Fitzpatrick won back again by McMahon. Free hit won by Slattery. Just over 5 minutes left in this match. Do you feel that there may be more goals, Mel?
I'm hoping so. It's been a great game for a bronze medal match.
Yes, indeed. Adrian Locke shouting his instructions. I just wonder if this is Evie Krumha, who was vice president of the USA for the International Field Hockey Women's Hockey Association back in the 30s. It was her idea to have a first World Cup, and when they had their annual meetings, that was when they first had a tournament. Now, they're not recognised as World Cups, but I hope she's looking down and seeing what a great event this is, as if she's not alive still today. I don't know where she is or anything, but it was her vision, and it was the proposal to have an international tournament. Green card issued, and it will be Carola Salvatella goes off. She's still arguing with Amber Church as she goes off. The ball bounces through to Savannah Fitzpatrick. She's got McMahon behind her, went towards the D. Malone putting pressure on the defender. Malone steals the ball. Malone still alive inside the D, but has to come back out. It goes to McMahon. She played it to the top of the circle. Cleared eventually by Pachami, and then dribbled forward now by Perez, who's had an outstanding game. Perez trying to use her pace to get past Morgan. Slides, but it goes out of play. Perez now turns and looks to advance for Australia. Again, Bonastra putting pressure on. Now Lily Brazel wide, plays it into the D. It ricochets up in the air off the stick of the Spanish player. 3.5 minutes left in this bronze medal match. Can Spain hold on? Can Australia find a goal? Anywhere will do for Spain at the moment, and that's going to go out down by the corner flag. Comes in now to Jodie Kenny. Morgan plays it forward again. Bates now. So the Netherlands just arriving at the stadium, getting off the bus quite a few minutes after the Irish arrived. I'm sure even though they're the favourites, there'll be some nerves as the ball comes back to Caitlin Nobbs. Perez looks for a penalty corner. Perez wins a penalty corner for Australia. Is this their chance?
Australia's goal from Catherine Slattery came while Spain were down a player, and it's exactly the situation here. Perez dribbling in. Flat stick tackle was not made. Rolled the ball onto the foot, and you've got to say, if they're going to stand any chance, this has got to go in. Georgia Morgan scored a fantastic goal yesterday, stick side, against the Dutch. Is the responsibility going to be hers, or is it going to be Jodie Kenny?
Well, Kenny is lining up at the second battery with Emily Smith stopping. Georgina Morgan at the first. Shift to the right, it goes to Morgan. It was injected, I think, a little bit. So one of the Spain defenders has gone too early.
It's McGath, number 25. Probably the #1 runner, trying to just get that half yard that she didn't need to worry about.
Well, it was going to Morgan before. Will they go to Morgan again? They've now got a bigger target to hit. 2.5 minutes left. A goal now will really give Australia hope. They go to Morgan. She sweeps. Deflection is it there in front. But it came off, I think, Rosie Malone. It went into her body.
So as went to Morgan as we thought, but again looking for the deflection with Emily Smith. Doesn't quite get a big enough touch, and then the ball hits Rosie Malone. I think it's Oliver there with a vital touch to take the ball out offline.
So Malone was sliding in just to try and get the deflection. Now it's McMahon driving towards the baseline. Gigi Oliver is there again. Lovely turn. Good work from McGath. Well, we've got to start thinking of your vitality player of the match, Mel. And it would be hard, I think, in this game.
Yeah.
Well, Spain look like they're about to attack again. Salvatella over the ball. Little spin away from Morgan. Morgan comes back, takes it off her, but gets penalised for it. And the umpire telling Spain to get on with things. They were just taking their time there. McGath goes into the corner just to eat up time and just to poke. It's a long corner. And Spain again just eating up time. Were your player of the match, Mel?
That lady in shot, Beatrice Perez, I think she's been absolutely fantastic today. Set up the first goal, set up the third goal, worked tirelessly for the team. There's a number of players out there that warrant a mention. I think Oliver's been fantastic, Bonastra's been fantastic, but Beatrice Perez, for me, wins the player of the match in the bronze medal game.
And I think your comments sum up her feelings. She says she loves team sports and being part of a team, having been a very good exponent of judo and opted to change. But here come Australia. There's a chance to break forward now. Lily Brazel, just 18 seconds left on the clock. Brazel looks up, drills it in, but Gutierrez is there again. Blocks it, sweeps it over the side, and that may well be the last play of the match. Bone tries to get it going for a straight, goes up off the stick of Bonastra. The crowd count down. The Spanish fans get to their feet. What a moment! Spain have won the bronze medal. The first time in their history they've won the bronze medal at a World Cup. And you can see what it means to every one of those girls and all their supporters in the crowd. This is history. This is wonderful for hockey in that country. Paul Godoin will be disappointed, but Adrian Locke, what a job he's done. and the pineapple gets thrown in the air. Not quite sure of the symbolism of the pineapple, but it follows them everywhere. Well, Mel, what do you make of that?
It just goes to show this tournament surprises me every single time. Most games, the form book goes out the window. The term underdog doesn't seem to exist in this tournament. For me, it's the difference in funding and players being able to train as much as it is anything else. Unbelievable for Spain, but actually they thoroughly deserved that victory today. They were the better team. Structurally, they were sound. Adrian Locke and his team need a huge amount of credit because he sent them out there. They weren't overawed by the situation. They bounced back and they deserve that bronze medal.
They did indeed, and there is Adrian Locke, and the players go through shaking hands. A memorable bronze medal match that has seen Spain victorious as we go back to the studio. But the score here at the final whistle is Australia 1, Spain 3.
Empezar con tu mensaje. Ya salió, tío, ya salió. A ver el trabuco. El rabo pisoteado.